Welcome back, guys. I hope you guys have been well and you have been safe. So have we. And we are so grateful that our kids are back to school and we are back to normalcy. It's something to be grateful for. And also just to thank God that rains have subsided. Yeah, and I hope it's something that you're also grateful because you're so grateful for that. We continue from where we've been. I hope you've been watching and you're taking this journey with us about personality disorders. Kama kawaida, nakaribisha Alfie.
Thank you, asante.
Yeah, karibu, you've been well?
Yes, I can't complain. I've marked myself safe.
So have I.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been discussing about personality disorders, cluster A, where we said their behaviors and their thoughts are unusual and they are odd. And cluster B are dramatic people. They're emotionally dramatic. The way they express themselves is just dramatic. And today we are going to see cluster C. How are these people? So to kickstart our discussion, we want to look at one personality disorder called
Avoidant personality disorder.
Yeah, the avoidant personality disorder.
And you know, something about avoidant, it should not be confused with antisocial.
Yes.
Remember we discussed antisocial personality disorder?
Yeah, we did.
So today we are now looking at avoidant personality disorder.
Yes.
Yes. So this is quite different.
It's quite different.
Yes, from the antisocial.
From the antisocial.
Yes.
Tulisema antisocial ni mtu mwenye anajiweka tu kando.
Yes. So we hataki ku interact na watu. There's that limited interaction. But now when we look at the avoidant, now here what is happening is that they have feelings of inadequacy. I think that's the word I will use.
Yes.
They have social inadequacy.
Yes.
So it actually like triggers them not to want to interact. With people, yeah.
Wanajishuku sana.
Yes, and they're very sensitive to criticism. Ni ule mtu ukimwambia umevaa vibaya, there's a problem. So and I feel insecure, you know, they are not okay, they are not right. Yeah.
They are concerned about themselves, their appearance. They are overly even concerned about how they don't want to look foolish in front of people.
Yes, true. And actually, and you see with the avoidant personality disorder, one thing you realize about this particular group is that they even avoid working. There are those people, they fear criticism to the extent that heri akae nyumbani asifanye kazi. So they do not want to work, they do not want to interact with people socially, you know. So they basically, like we've said, they cocoon themselves. I think that's the right word to use.
They cocoon. It's better for them to be by themselves.
Yes, and you see, like we've said, the trigger here is being criticized. So threshold yao ya criticism ni kidogo. So you criticize this person, umeharibu kila kitu.
Kwa hivyo kwa relationship ama kwa workplace ni ngumu sana kwao.
Yes. So you realize they have low self-esteem. They basically self-isolate.
Yes.
So you see, such a particular person, even to get into a relationship with them is actually a challenge. I'd use that word. It's a challenge. Because they are not sure what you're gonna tell them or what you're gonna say. You know. Yeah.
And these people the way they see rejection and loss, it's something so painful for them.
Yes, they cannot be able to handle it.
They cannot be able to handle
it. And that's why you realize, like we've said, they self-isolate.
Yeah, they choose to be rather lonely than even risk.
Yes. And then again, when you look at it, because of being lonely and all that, now things like depression come in.
Yes.
Because they don't know how to express themselves.
They don't know.
These are people, when you call a meeting, they will not speak up. Because they are not, in their mind, they'll be like, what if what I'm saying is wrong?
What if?
Yeah, so it's the what ifs. Yes. So it's what if what I'm saying is wrong. So they will not speak up. They would rather die with what they have.
They rather just keep quiet. Unaona asifa kucompose, kumbe anasafa tu.
Anasafa. And you know, these people basically hata kufanya kazi is a problem. So they will be working socially, utampata, you know. Yani yeye palipopote kuna crowd, they are not there.
Hataki.
Yes, they are not there. Yeah. I don't know. Example. We have an interesting example. Whoopi Goldberg. Yes. Apparently, she's one person who suffers from this particular disorder. So, but for her, I'm finding it interesting considering she's an actress.
Yes, you see, Viliana, you will never notice.
Yes.
Because mtu anasuffer kindani.
Yeah. So, but when you come out here, it becomes something else. So she's one person who has this particular personality disorder.
Yeah.
And again, like with the other disorders we said, talk therapy, psychotherapy.
Yeah, treatment.
Yeah, the treatment.
Talk therapy, just to get them talking.
Yes.
Speaking out there and isifike to a worse level of depression.
Depression, and exactly, and when it gets to depression, now that's when they get the antidepressants to at least reduce makalia, the issue. Yeah.
Oh,
so this is the avoidant personality disorder.
Avoidant personality. So you say they are shy.
Extremely, not just shy.
Extremely shy.
It's extreme shyness. So that's what we said. Niule mtu haezi ongea publicly because they fear everything that is gonna come out of their mouth is gonna be criticized. Alafu something else you notice, hata kuna ile una tease mtu. Yeah, you might be teasing this person, but then they take it personally.
Anaichukulia vibaya.
Yeah, anaichukulia vibaya. So with these people, it's like you tiptoe around them because you're not sure what you're gonna say, what it will trigger.
You're always just careful.
Yes, around them.
Around them.
Yes.
Because ujue utasema nini, it triggers.
It trigger nini, exactly.
Speaking about triggers, and what could be the causes of this avoidant personality disorder?
Well, most of the things, like the other personality disorders, we looked at them. Like, remember we said kuna zile traumas. Kuna trauma, so unaweza kuta maybe the way maybe when they were growing up, parenting yao, maybe the parenting, maybe alikuwa criticized sana, growing as a child, growing up, you know. So utakuta they carry that thing. So by the time they're getting to their teens and young adulthood, they still have the same. So they don't have the self-confidence. Actually, basically it lacks. And then you see for some of these people, unfortunately, some of them, you might find them, they stammer.
Yeah.
So because an stammer, they feel that's a weakness. And then people are judging them because of that.
Oh, so a physical illness.
Yes, imekuja. So they will not be able to talk. So hata akienda kuongea, unaona anangangana. So to avoid wewe kunotice an stammer, they would rather not talk.
So this thing can even develop as mtu anagrow. Anagrow,
exactly. And then if you don't get the right person to work with you or even to train you and to show you it's okay to even the stammer, then it becomes a problem.
It becomes a problem.
Yeah, because I look at an example of Mr. Bean. I think we all know Mr. Bean. If you look at Mr. Bean, not many people will realize he stammers. Not many people will realize he has that issue. But you see, he's been able to overcome it.
Yes.
And he's shining out there. Yeah. So it depends with the way the condition is handled.
Oh, how we handle it.
Yes.
And that's why we say it's good that we know these things so that we help these people out here.
Yes.
Most of them, unakuta, we live with them.
They're here, and they're capable, and they achieve quite a lot.
Yes.
So it's only a matter of how we handle them that really matters at the end of the day. Yeah.
So these people, let's just walk with them.
Yes.
Tuwasaidia waweze kujua how to.
Yeah. To interact na watu.
Interact na merge na watu na kuinteract.
And then you know something interesting about this personality disorder is that you realize the particular person having this disorder, they actually know, they are self-aware.
They know
they have this particular disorder.
They know they have the disorder.
But as much as they know, to get out of it is a challenge.
To overcome it.
Yes, it's a challenge. So they have the self-awareness. Yes, and like the other disorders, people don't know they have. They look at you and they're like, when mgonjwa si mimi. But these ones, they're self-aware. But now getting out of it is a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
Then we really need to not to stereotype people outside here. To see your stereotype.
Yes.
Because if somebody is aware of their shortcoming, then we continue laughing about it or telling about it.
Now it becomes a challenge. Unajua kwa shida. It's a problem because now una force into this particular person.
Una force mtu aingie sasa into the state of depression and loneliness that leads to other things.
Exactly, true. Because hapa ndo utakuta substance abuse, suicide, all that come in. Yeah. So that is the avoidant personality disorder.
Avoidant personality disorder.
Yes.
Oh, and also we look up to this personality disorder called the dependent personality disorder.
Well, now this is also another crazy disorder because dependent basically it means this person cannot do anything
by themselves.
They have to consult. And one thing when I was doing research on this, one thing I came to realize is that these people actually even choosing the clothes they will wear for that particular day. They have to consult.
Everything they consult.
Yes. Na si consultation ile tabi hii shati unaona kai iko sawa na mimi no it's hii shati iko sawa hapana vai haya. Alfi hii shati unaona kai iko sawa. So they go around, they consult multiple times on the same issue.
Yeah.
So dependent personality disorder, this is a crazy one.
They are so dependent on other people, even to meet their personal needs.
Yes, you see, with the dependent personality disorder, actually these people feel helpless. Literally, they feel helpless. So to them, they believe anything that they need to do, they have to consult widely. And now, because of consulting widely, most of the time you realize they cannot even achieve what they want. So it becomes a challenge. Actually, becomes a hindrance in them progressing. Yeah.
So some of the causes that may cause this, maybe traumas and parenting.
You see, okay, there's this scenario whereby you find the parent becoming overprotective of the child, because with this particular personality disorder, you actually realize it starts as a child.
Yeah, this one starts.
Yeah, childhood, yes. So the parent becomes overprotective of the child. So as the child is growing up, getting into their teens, you realize they cannot make decisions on their own. So for every decision they need to make, they have to consult.
They have to ask.
So in this case, now they'll go back to the parent to consult. As they become adults, again, because they cannot make decisions, now they have that circle. Every decision, anything they need to do,
they will ask.
They'll have to consult.
Yeah.
They have to go, and it's not just normal consultation. They ask. It's the same question you ask like 20 people. Yes,
because their mind has been cocooned to you. Whatever you're doing, you have to ask.
Yes, you cannot make the decision on your own.
Cannot.
Yeah,
You cannot.
and now the biggest challenge that comes up with this particular disorder is that when it comes to being an adult, there are those, we would call them adult decisions that you need to make.
Yes.
They will not be able to make those decisions.
They will not be able, because they were conditioned to always asking and asking and asking.
Yes. So basically, and you find when these people get into relationships, the spouse or the partner, they actually have a challenge, because now the weight is thrown, everything is thrown to the partner. Every decision has to be made by the partner.
They are so unsure about themselves.
Yes. No, that's what I've said. You asked how it starts. From parenting. So this is the point unasikiaga, wewe mzazi unaharibu mtoto, umemchunga sana. Yes.
And also I think even as when I said trauma, maybe as a child, this child went through something that caused trauma in them, such that hataki kurudi tena hapo.
Yes, and you see,
anajiprotect.
In fact, you notice one thing about this dependent personality disorder is that these people fear being abandoned. So unaweza kuta maybe akiwa mtoto there was at some point alifeel alikuwa abandoned ama alikuwa abandoned. So now growing up, alafu the parent has come on board, sasa amemfunika. So this particular group, they fear being abandoned. They have intense fear. It's not even just fear. It's intense fear of being abandoned. Yeah.
So every responsibility they will keep on asking, so that to hold on to this person.
Yes.
To give them direction in everything.
Yes. And they are very sensitive to criticism.
Hey, they are very sensitive.
Very sensitive, yeah.
They are hurt easily.
Yes. They lack self-confidence.
Of course.
They lack self-confidence. They are pessimists. These guys are totally negative. Hakuna kitu positive inaweza toka kwa mdomo yake. Yeah, everything, it's not working. That's it.
It can't work.
Yes.
It can't work.
It can't work. So, like we've said, it's a conditioning.
It's a condition.
Yes, it's a conditioning, because from the word go amekuwa kichungwa. So anajua it's somebody else to make the decision, not me to make the decision. Yeah.
So, do we have any example on this?
Well, the example here is very interesting, because when I was looking at it, in fact, I had to like pull back and think twice. I'm like, is it for real? Yeah, because for this particular example, we have David Beckham, the footballer.
Oh.
So I'm looking at this footballer. This guy has been very successful.
Very.
But now looking at the condition, and there's actually a point here mwenye amekubali. He has the dependent personality disorder. So you realize where this it's a bit tricky. Yeah, it's a bit tricky.
Is it even for him to be successful, that reach where he has reached? It must have taken the hand of other people.
Yes, to push him. Because now you see, like we've said, now it's somebody who comes on board and tells them, unaweza.
Yeah.
So now they push. They are the ones who give you the push until you get to that particular point.
To believe in yourself.
Yes. Remember tumesema they lack self-confidence and they're pessimists. So huyu jamaa ni negative totally. Yeah. So and then these guys, because of being dependent, imagine they are very submissive. Let me use that word.
Yeah.
But nile submissive ya kuwa abused.
Ni mbaya, mtu anaweza muabuse
easily. Because unajua nikiambia tabia fanya hivi atafanya tu. So wewe, because you want to please me and because you unaona whatever I've said is right, then you go with it.
You just agree.
Yes.
na agree ndia to avoid disagreements.
Yes.
Because hataki kukaa hapo.
Hataki kukaa hapo, and then amezoea kupewa instructions. Yeah, fikiri. They don't think like actually that's what I've used. They don't think on their own. Yeah.
So they cannot even be problem solvers.
No, in fact they can't even start projects. Remember, lack of self-confidence. So, umwambie leo nimeona ati akae chini ya jembe na naweza weka kuku nile. They cannot.
Hawezi.
Itachukua tabia kuja niambie Alfie, I think this project can work. This is how you need to do it. Now that's when they will start the project. But the project will only start as long as uko hapo.
Kuna mtu mwingine, hali ya mtu mwingine
iko hapo. Yes, actually the hand of the other person is stronger than the hand of this particular person.
So they need strong people with strong personalities
to push them. Yes.
Kuonyesha it's achievable. You can make it.
Yes.
And so, I think that's why David Beckham has achieved.
Yes. And so basically for me it goes back to parenting. As much as parents we want to protect our children, I believe it's good once in a while wacha mwenyewe pia learn. You know, it's like when a kid is starting to learn how to walk, ataanguka.
Ni kweli.
But ukienda saa zote unamshikilia, akienda kuanguka unamshikilia, hata hijua kutembea.
Hata jua.
Umemprotect. So wacha agonge chini, upige nduru sema but the next day atasimama, atajua na nikienda hivi kama sijajishikilia nitaanguka.
Ni kama ile advert ya Dettol. Kuna mzazi mwenye hataki
mtoto aanguke kwa matope, hataki
na mwingine ako like
exactly. Now that's a thing. That's a thing. So we need to let our kids, because this, like we've said, dependent personality disorder starts from childhood.
Yes.
Let these kids explore.
Yeah.
Because it's from the exploration now you build the character, you build the personality.
True.
But now if you become overly protective of this child, basically this child becomes dependent on you. And God forbid if something happens to the parent, that particular person is lost.
Yeah. Actually, that said, it's very true, because I found out that how to assist these people is only happens when we pay attention to our actions and our speech. That is how we'll assist them. Yes,
not by taking their hand and walking with them.
No, not by taking their hand and walking. You bring a project and usikae hapo sana na yeye nini,
mwanzishie, wacha observe from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Very important.
Clear from a side.
Yes.
Wacha ende explore by himself.
Wow. Dependent personality disorder.
This is very tricky. Even for treatment, I think it's very tricky, because huyu daktari akona kazi. Talk therapy. Remember we said hapa bado tunarudi kwa talk. So lazima umuongeleshe and then umuoneshe and then you observe whether they are doing what you're supposed to do. I even think hapa madaktari wakona kazi also lazima watawapea to certain small projects.
Exactly. Ndio wafanye confidence. They gain your confidence. They can do it on their own. Yeah.
Wow. So we should be on the outlook of this, because I believe tunaishi na hawa watu.
Hawa kwanza wako ni wengi. Unaona, like we will always say ati huyu mtu hajiamini. You know, we always have that. Huyu mtu hajiamini, hawezi fanya kitu chochote peke yake, lazima saidie. We have them. So it's us to understand this particular person has this particular issue, then assist, but not be protective, overly protective. Mimi ndio jina narudia tu.
Yeah, overly protective inaharibu.
Exactly.
Because if you're overly protective, aende sema ni mtoto wako high school, we are overly protected of them. Tunawapeleka tutaki aende boarding, experience huko, akae tu hapa.
Unataka mtoto akae na wewe hapa,
alafu ameenda university,
ameenda peke yake. Dunia imekuja.
Ndio hii suicide, depression, suicide.
Yes, because they are not
overuse of drugs.
Yes, because they are not they've not learned how to handle issues on their own. Yeah, so it's important we learn how to let go of this.
It's important that as parents we be careful of how we are bringing up our kids.
True. Well, that is dependent personality disorder.
That's the dependent.
Now I think we look at the last one.
We look at the last one in cluster C.
Yes, obsessive personality disorder.
Obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
I beg.
This is a statement.
Yes, it's obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
Yeah,
because this is different by the way from the OCD.
So what is OCD? OCD in length is obsessive compulsory disorder. It's an anxiety disorder in which mtu akona frequent unwanted thoughts, intrusive obsessions. I can say obsessions.
Yes.
That cause that cause them to perform repetitive behaviors. Unakuta mtu kama wako so obsessive maybe na usafi. Anaenda mahali anashinda clean. Yani haone ni kama iko sawa. Anaenda kwa hoteli na tu mtu ako na anxiety fulani inamfanya hataki kukaa karibu na mtu ako na anxiety, anataka tu mahali pasafi.
Wow.
You know?
Yes. Now obsessive compulsive personality disorder, now tumesema ni mental condition. Now this mental condition, this particular person tumesema ni straightforward, ni rigid.
Huyo?
So huyu ni orderly. It's orderly. It's controlled. You know, so hapa hakuna diversion.
Hakuna. Yeah, anajua ile ni hivi na ni hivi.
Yes, and these people again, the tendency they have, because they're perfectionists, they tend to follow rules.
Yeah. They have their own set rules and standards zenye lazima wafuate.
Yes. Hawa ni wale unaona ile mtu character unasema huyu mtu anabehaving kama mjeshi.
Yeah.
They're inflexible.
Unakuta baba ule ni mkali, ni mjeshi.
Obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
Na ni kweli ni hiyo, it can affect both men and women, but mostly inakuwa kwa men.
Yes, iko kwa men, and then genes are involved.
Yeah, genes are involved too.
So this is one condition that is basically passed down. It's not like the other ones that we say in physical and all, but these one now genes are also involved.
Genes are involved. Even before we go even further about it, I was thinking, how different or is it from the narcissist?
Well, it's quite different, because when you look at the OCPD, as we call it in short, these guys are high achievers. They set goals and they go for the goals. Remember, we've said they're perfectionists.
They're perfectionists.
Sasa narcissist on the other hand, yeye anafanyaga nini na yeye ana believe to be better than the other person. Unaona, them they believe.
A higher achiever.
Yes,
than everybody else.
But you see, for the OCPD, them they achieve, they go for it.
They go for it.
Now that's a difference. A narcissist believes to be better. An OCPD on the other hand, and go. This is the direction, this is what I want, and they go and they achieve. And you realize people with the OCPD, they actually, like we said, they set targets and they achieve those targets.
They are higher achievers.
Yes.
That's the good thing about that.
Exactly. As much as it's a mental issue.
It's a mental issue, but you know, when they're devoted to doing things, hata achilia.
Yes, hawezi achilia. And then, like you said, they are rigid, they're inflexible, you know, they're perfectionists. They set goals, high goals, and they tend to achieve those goals. Now, the problem is, because they are inflexible, what was wakaribia? Them they follow a routine. It is A, B, C, and D. Hakuna siku itatoka iende A, iende D, alafu ikuje B ndio iende C. No. It is A, B, C, D.
So
period.
Kwa relationships ni ngumu, because they lack flexibility, they are inflexibility. They lack generosity. Kwa relationships utakuta
mchoyo. Tabia huwezi nilia kama ua.
Nimeamua ni hivi na sita tutapita pale nikulie maua.
Imeisha tu hivyo.
It doesn't make sense to them. Imeisha tu hivyo.
Yeah. So
they're not willing even to show affection.
No. And then they're preoccupied with roles, with details, even the smallest of details. That's what drives them.
That drives them.
Yes. So basically, emotionally, we can say they're detached. Emotionally, they're detached. So for this particular group of people, as much as we're saying they are high achievers, they go for what they want, but at the end of the day, when it comes to relationships, social circles, there's a challenge.
There's a challenge.
Yes.
There's a challenge.
Yes.
So it begins from early. Is it early adulthood? Mtu akianza kujijua hapo.
Unasema mimi ninataka kufanya kitu fulani and that's it. Unaingia hapo ndani unapotelea hapo. So actually one thing you realize about these people, they tend to actually work more. This is a group of people utasema mtu ana overwork. But actually now them they are comfortable working. Because unaona kama ni job umempea anajua ninatoka hapa nikienda hivi mpaka nimalize whatever I'm supposed to do. So they are good workers, yes. And that's why we say they achieve their targets, yes. But now emotionally, now there's also a problem.
There's also a problem.
Yes.
So do we have any example?
Now the example that I found is also quite interesting, because when I looked at the character of the person that I want to give as an example, I realized by the actually alikuwa na hizi behavioral zote. Yes. The person I'm talking about is Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Yes. This guy was a workaholic kutoka akiwa miaka ya college.
Kweli?
The guy achieved so much. But when it comes to the social circle, it was very limited for him.
It's very limited.
Yes, and he was a perfectionist. And he achieved.
He achieved.
Because for me, actually something I find interesting about Steve Jobs is that at one point, the board ya Apple walimvuta kazi na kampuni ni yake.
Ni kweli. Ni yeye ameanzisha.
Yes, but wakamvuta job. Yes, wakasema he cannot manage. So what does he do? Goes on a break. Relax. Then kidogo anasema tunaweza tengeneza animation.
Come up with something else.
Yes. And eventually he went bought back his own company.
He went bought back. Na akajiweka vile hata jifuta.
Exactly.
I remember there's somewhere we were discussing about him in a certain personality.
Yes, we were dealing with when we were dealing with the initial part of personalities. So he achieved he was able to achieve so much.
Yeah.
But personality yake, he had a disorder.
Alikuwa zile like ninaanzisha hiki kitu alafu mnaninyang'anya.
Yes.
Wait and see.
So he was ni ule mtu follow rules. Creates the rules, goes with them, not flexible, emotionally detached.
Yeah, and you'll find out that people with this kind of disorder, they are in higher managerial positions.
Yes,
they
yes.
Are push.
Yes,
their
agendas, exactly. They push their agendas. Now, the challenge with this particular disorder is the complications that come on board, because now this person amejitouch emotionally, so utakuta atakuwa na issues, anxiety, depression, you know, yeah, so difficulty in maintaining relationships.
True.
Yeah, so those are some of the challenges now that come with this.
Yeah.
But now, yes, sorry, yes.
And how can we assist them in the treatment?
Talk therapy,
psychotherapy.
Tunarudi pale psychotherapy, and then in case it is not really fully blown, at least you don't need medication.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but unless if it's fully blown now, that's when medication comes on board. But it's not recommended. Hapa ni talk therapy, psychotherapy is what
because they live with it.
Yes, this is them.
And it can even be worse as they continue.
Exactly. So psychotherapy is what basically works for this particular disorder. Yes. So
in these disorders tumeona kuwashikilia tu mikono, kuonyesha this is how to live, let's walk with them.
Let's walk with them, yes. Do not stigmatize this particular group. Because like tulisema sisi tunaisemaga mtu ni wazimu. Amekota makaratasi. But this person, take them to hospital. Most of them actually the challenge unakuta because of the issues that come on board, depression, anxiety and all that. They end up using substances. It's alcoholism, it's drugs, you get. So now you first of all have to win them from that. And then now treat the disorder.
And then treat them.
Yes.
And if we can try to treat them as young people or children, teenagers, itakuwa afadhali.
Exactly. Because now tutakuwa deal with the issue from the word go.
From the word go. Na saizo mtu hajaingia into depression, hajaingia into drugs.
Exactly.
Sana, so it's easy even to treat.
Exactly.
So we need to be on the outlook in our families, in our society. Tuangalie mtu ana behave aje.
Yes. Is it normal? It is not normal. Kama it's not normal, what do we do? How do we help this particular person? And like kuenda hapo tu mshamjudge. Yeah, because the moment you judge this person, they actually cocoon themselves.
They cocoon themselves. Na ndio inaleta shida zingine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's a wrap.
That is cluster C, and we've done with the 3 clusters: cluster A, B, and C. Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. Continue watching and please bonyeza
subscribe.
Tunawangojea sana. So
voila.